we're about to do live. But as I tell you, today we're going to practice, okay, following the same method we have been using. But of course, in this time, you're not going to merely respond by reading the short passage or topic that in the past we just had for the reading, excuse me, for the speaking section task number 1. If you remember, when we were practicing that part, of course, it was a very, very rapid process to respond because at every single point, you always had to read a very short passage, right? Nonetheless, for tonight's practices, you're going to be receiving 2 materials before you respond. So that is going to take a little bit more of time. Nonetheless, you're going to enjoy it, I know. And we're going to be able to perfect this particular task that is, as I say, different a little bit, but nonetheless, very much useful, all right? So let me start. I'm going to share my screen with you and let us get into the practice, all right? Here we are. Okay, so let's start together. All right, so just in order to remember you what we have been discussing yesterday, if you remind what we talked about, we have been discussing the second task, and we said, right, that in order to respond to this question, you first of all need to receive 2 different information sources. First of all, a reading passage, and secondly, you need to receive a listening passage. This reading passage is always going to be about something taking place in a university. It can be a change in the, I don't know, in one of its services. It can be a new activity. It can be a new modification in your schedule, something like that. And then you're going to listen to a conversation of 2 different students discussing exactly the same topic you have read about. And that makes a very interesting scenario because later in your response, remember, the only thing you have to do is to summarize both materials, right? As I told you, this is an integrated question. Therefore, you are not required nor allowed to give your opinion, nor to add anything external to this response, okay? Please avoid doing so because that is just going to cause you problems. But as I say, if you remain yourself as a good journalist, as I told you yesterday, right? Working merely, let's say, as a summarizer, somebody who simply receives information, takes notes, and summarizes the material, you're going to do just fine, okay, on this section. So let me show you one more time the template, just in case you have forgotten it. Remember that I also told you, it's very good if you, for example, when you're responding, you take a blank sheet of paper, write this structure down, and leave for yourself some blank spaces, right, to fill those spaces with the information you're going to use later on. So as I said, I think that is a very good manner to practice this, and as well to have the response very much organized, right? That you can actually read your paper while you're responding in order to avoid distractions, right? So as you can see here, you have the structure is to begin with in the reading passage, and here comes the summary of the reading passage. Remind, very brief and concise. Then on the other hand, then you summarize the topic of the conversation. And finally, the third and the fourth step are basically for you to summarize the first main speaker's reason and the second main speaker's reasons for the opinion he's delivering, right? Because he always offers reasons, arguments, just as you did also in the first task of the speaking section, all right? So here you have the template. I hope that you have already taken notice of this. Now, let us start with our practice, okay? Here we are. So let us read the first passage and then the conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this passage, okay, that you can see is here, and I'm going to paste it, okay? I'm going to paste it to the chat box. Why? Because if I let's say if I let you read here from my own screen, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. Why? Well, because I have to scroll down in order for you to see the entire passage. So better if I just paste it here in the chat box for all of you to read it entirely, all right? So there you have it. This is the passage. As you can see, it's not very large. And if you remember, you have just 4 or 5 seconds to read it, okay? So please, all of you, dear students, direct your attention to the chat box and start reading this new passage now. There you are. Okay, thank you very much. Now let us listen together to the conversation on the same topic. Remember that it is very important for you to take your notes, okay, dear students, in this part, because this information is going to be very useful for you to prepare your summary later on in the 30 seconds of preparation, okay? So please let us listen to the conversation and take your notes on it. Let's see.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Can you believe that the Secretary of State's speech is being limited to students in the political science and government departments? It's really unfair that they get guaranteed access.
Wait, really? I mean, don't you agree that the Secretary of State's speech is especially important to students in government and political science?
But what about students in history or cultural studies? It's wrong to assume that just because someone studies government, the speech would automatically be more important for them.
I guess so, but can't you still apply to get a seat? So if it is important to you, you can just, show them that it is.
With the essay? That's not exactly ideal. The people who judge the essays will be professors from government and political science. They have their own ideas about what good and bad reasons are. They'll be too prejudiced.
You think?
Oh, totally. I mean, how will they be able to judge an essay by someone like a poet or a computer scientist or a sculptor? They'll probably just dismiss those essays completely.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
There you are. All right, so now it's time for you to prepare your responses, dear students. And if you remember, you have 30 seconds for doing so, okay? So for all of you, please start preparing your responses now. All right, there you are. Fantastic. So as you can see, dear students, we have finalized with the 30 seconds of preparation. Okay, so now one by one, just as we did last week with the first task, we're going to stay out your responses, okay, publicly. So the first student to begin with this round of responses will be Jorge. Right there, Jorge, please, you're going to help me. And well, you have 1 minute, okay, in order to respond. So please have notice of the time, all right? So please, dear Jorge, start responding to this question now.
To begin with, in the reading passage, we can read that there will be a speech on the future of modern warfare that will be made by the Secretary of State. Now there is admission guaranteed for certain students in careers of political and government sciences. However, there will be 100 extra seats open that you can only enter if you apply for an essay. Some students disagree with this, and they believe that they disagree for the following reasons. They believe that they should open more seats or that other careers should enter because it could help for other careers that are not only political science and government department. And also they believe that the additional 100 seats the people that are going to evaluate them won't evaluate them fairly for other careers that aren't of the political science and government department. That'll be it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Jorge. There you are. All right, so let us continue with Sergio. Please, dear Sergio, could you continue with this one? So please start preparing your response, delivering your response, dear Sergio, now.
The student shows very angry about the speech because the speech about modern warfare is very limited for other students in the application. And the application for the other careers like history and cultural careers. And also says that the application and the test will be limited to because only political persons or professionals will be evaluated.
All right. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. I had some troubles to listen to you. Did you guys, Jorge and Adriana, were able to listen to him? correctly, or did you listen to?
Not very good.
Yes, not very good, right? Yes. So I guess you had some trouble with your microphone, dear Sergio. Try to look upon it a little bit. But anyways, very good. Okay, thank you very much. I listened to your response a little bit, but next time we're gonna get deeper. Okay, but very good. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. If you manage to solve it, tell me, and you can repeat the response if you want. All right. But anyways, thank you very much. It was very good. Let's continue. Okay, with Anai. So please, dear Anai, start responding to this question now.
To begin with the passage that said that Secretary of State will be making a speech at the future of mother, in this reading passage shows that only students from the careers, political and science and government departments are allowed. So one of the students mentions that this is kind of unfair, and she argued with another student that that is not fair because some careers are more important than others, and she is not agree with that. Also, another student arguments with she can try to apply with the essays, but she add that these essays will be not correctly certificate because the people who gonna check the essay are just for political science and government. So they are not agree with that and new announcement.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leonai. Very good. There you are. So please let us now continue with Adriana. All right, dear Adriana, you're going to be the last one. All right, so please, dear Adriana, start responding to the question now.
Okay, in the passage it said that the Secretary of State is going to give a speech about the warfare, and that the students of this political science and government can assist, and the other students should apply for this speech. And regarding the conversation, the girl isn't agree with the situation because she believes that it's important to everybody to have the same opportunities, and that everybody should write the speech and get a place, and not only the only students that are in political science and government. And also she believes that isn't fair that the only teachers that are reviewing these essays are going to be the same as the teachers of political science, and they are not going to be able to correct the same way to everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Adriana. Very good. Dear Sergio, were you able to solve those little problems you had with your microphone? Would you like to repeat the response?
Yes, I think. Can you hear me well?
Yeah,
No.
I listen to you, but sometimes with a high volume and then just diminishes suddenly. Continue speaking a little bit more.
Okay, I don't know what's happening with the microphone, but I think it is okay now.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You
I
can hear me
continue
well.
having the problem. Yes. I mean, I continue. It's like for some moments, for some instance, like I listen to you very well, and then it just diminishes the volume, like as if it were going upwards and downwards, very constantly. I don't know what
That's
happens.
weird. I'm going to
Yeah,
try what
super
you
weird,
say.
super weird. Yes, I'm not sure. Well, anyways, we're gonna try with the next round, I guess. Well, I guess it's some problem. I don't know, because Adriana said that she was not able to listen to you very well as well. So I guess it's something in your computer. But anyways, try to look upon it anyways, and you're going to be able to respond in the next round. Okay. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. All right. So let me give you some feedback, okay? For Jorge, let's start with Jorge. So I think the response was very good here, Jorge. I like how you summarized the reading passage and also the listening. Here, my only observation would be with regard to how you referred to the students when you were in the summary of the conversation, because you said, right, there are two students that disagree with this, but nonetheless, if you remember in the conversation, there's just one student that disagrees with this, and that student is the main speaker, right? And the other one is a secondary speaker that doesn't actually offer his opinion. And even if he does it, I think that he actually said that he was actually thinking it was a good manner to administer this policy. So I would recommend you to always direct or to refer to the main speaker as a particular individual. So you would say something like, on the other hand, in the conversation, we listened to a student, right? To just one student, to a student that disagrees or agrees with this. And then you just continue referring to this particular student, not to both of them, because as I say, it's like the secondary speaker doesn't actually offer his opinion, right? So try to always refer to the main speaker as an individual and not including the secondary speaker as well in that reference, all right? That will be the only recommendation I have. Fantastic, very good. So for an A, I think that it is also a very good response. I am very much content with your level, guys. So for example, my only observation here would be as well an A to the expression when you say, for example, she isn't agree or she's not agreeing, or for example, when you said they are not agreeing or they aren't agree, that is not in that particular case correct, because when you use the verb agreeing, remember that you have to use it with the auxiliary verb do. That is to say, you could say they don't agree, or they do agree, or she does agree, or she agrees as such. But to use the verb to be in combination with the verb agreeing is not correct in this case. Okay, so please try to correct that. When you want to say ellos no están de acuerdo, you say they don't agree, or they do agree if they agree, of course. Nonetheless, it's not necessary here to use the verb to be, right? But that will be my only observation. With regard to the rest, it's fantastic, right? Very good. Anyways, you're an A. And finally, we have here Adriana. And also here, I listened to just once, or excuse me, I listened to just one situation or one particular example in which you repeated here this little mistake of using the verb agreeing with the verb to be. I think that you did it with she isn't agree or she's not agreeing. Nonetheless, as I say, when you use this verb, the agree or disagree with something or with somebody, you have to use the auxiliary verb do. All right, so she agrees or she does agree or she doesn't agree. All right, but with regards to the rest, fantastic as well. And I like the fact that all of you, and also for Sergio, from the little information that I managed to listen because of those troubles that we have with the audio, it was also very good. And I like the fact that you are not offering here your opinion. I think that you have gotten that pretty well, that in this type of task, you don't have to mention anything with regard to what you think, but you have to limit yourself to mention what the content that has been offered to you says. And I think that is magnificent, right? So please continue with that. And let us get into another example, all right? Let us see what we have. All right, let's go to the second exercise. Let's get into this one. All right, here we have it. Okay, just a second. There you are. Very good. So let's I'm gonna paste this new passage to the chat box one more time, okay, for you to read comfortably. And you can actually transfer this passage into a Word document, maybe if you feel more comfortable, and you can actually write increase or let's say expand the size of the letters for you to read more comfortably. Nonetheless, of course, it's up to you. Okay, let us start with our 45 seconds to read this passage. Okay, so please, all of you dear students, start reading now. There you are. Okay, so now let us listen to this conversation on the same topic that we have read. Okay, let's see.
Now listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Can you believe this ridiculous new policy about vegetarian meals every Friday?
What's wrong with it? I mean, I thought you were a vegetarian. Isn't this exactly what you would want?
Yeah, I'm vegetarian, but we told the head of the dining hall that it was unfair that every day of the week the hot meal seemed to include meat, and students like me were basically forced to have cold dinner all the time.
What's the problem then?
We pay a full meal plan like everybody else does, but we don't get hot food like everybody else does. We wanted a vegetarian option to be included every day of the week on the menu as an alternative for vegetarians, so we can have a proper meal for dinner.
But one meal a week is better than nothing, you know?
Not really. The university thinks that this will appease us, but I still have to eat salad 4 days a week. It's really repetitive.
Yeah, I could see that getting old.
Tell me about it. And have you actually used the salad bar? Half of it is totally inedible. The lettuce is all wilted. The tomatoes are tasteless. It's not exactly fine dining.
The female student expresses her opinion about why she disagrees with the university's new policy. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion.
All right, there you are. Okay, dear students, so let us now, start with the 30 seconds of preparation, okay? Let's see what we can prepare. So please start, all of you, developing your responses now. There you are. Thank you very much. Okay, let us continue, right? So who's going to start this round? Dear Anai, please could you start with this round of responses? So please, dear Anai, start. First of all, enable your microphone and start responding to the question now.
To begin with the passage about adding a new vegetarian hot meal, that it's about encourage healthy dietary habits, and also adding a new hot meal for vegetarian students. One vegetarian student said that she does disagree with this statement because her argument is about because she paid the full meal for having a vegetarian hot meal every day. On the other hand, another student, she agreed with the news because he said that it's better have hot meal, a vegetarian hot meal every Friday that don't have in the week. But they are not concluded the discussion, and also they say that it's ridiculous this kind of news that university tries to cover the vegetarian people.
Okay. Thank you very much, dear Anai. Fantastic. All right, there you are. So let us continue with Adriana. Please, dear Adriana, could you follow up with your response? So please have your microphone prepared and start responding to the question now.
Okay. Regarding the passage, the university is with a new policy of giving 1 day a week a vegetarian food for the people that is vegetarian, and also increasing the salad bar for everybody. In the conversation, the girl does not agree because she's a vegetarian and she pays, first of all, she pays for all the 4 meals and she only gets to eat a salad. And she's only going to have one day of the week a hot meal. And the second reason that she does not agree is because she has to eat every day the salad bar, and she does not like it because it's not as good as the university would say that it could be.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Adriana. Perfect. And now, dear Jorge, please could you continue with the response? Start delivering it now.
To begin with the reading passage, we find out that the university is planning to change the menu to add a vegetarian hot meal only on Friday in order to accommodate to vegetarian students and to encourage healthy eating. However, you can still use the salad bar every day. Now, a particular vegetarian student is dissatisfied with this decision for the following reasons. Firstly, she's paying the full meal plan, and the university is not accommodating to her needs. She would like to have a vegetarian hot meal every single day. And also the salad bar is not good and is almost inedible according to her. That'll be it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Jorge. There you are. Okay. And let us continue with Sergio. Please, Sergio, you're going to finalize, okay, with the round of responses. So please, dear Sergio, okay,
Sure.
start
Can you hear
responding
me?
to the question. See, yes, I can. Continue speaking a little bit more.
Can you hear me? I'm trying to, my microphone works now.
Oh, yeah. Now I can listen to you. Fantastic.
Okay.
So
Great.
please, dear Sergio, now start responding to the question now.
Okay. This statement talks about the cafeteria food, how the cafeteria food is very limited and is very criticized. The cafeteria and its menu. These activities will encourage for a better and healthy dietary habits among the members of the university or the people who eat on the cafeteria. One of the students says that it's very ridiculous to have a vegetarian just on Fridays, and the other people have the hot meal every day, and the vegetarian menu every day of the it should be every day of the week, the vegetarian menu. The girl also have to eat the salad all day, and she says that it's flavorless. Uh, it is very limited for the people who eat different the menu because it is meat all the day. And the other student who is talking with her, encourage her to accept because it is better one day than never.
All right. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. Fantastic. I am very glad that you have managed to solve that little problem. Fantastic. I was able to listen to you fully this time.
Thank you. Very sorry for the problem with the microphone.
No. Thank you very much for solving it. All right. Fantastic. So let us start with some feedback. All right. So let us start with Anai. So I think the response dear Anai was fantastic. Just as you also, of course, performed the last exercise, you also performed wonderful in this one. Now here, for example, I think it was very good, something that I would recommend nonetheless for general purposes is that in one part of your response, you talked about what the secondary speaker said, right? You talked about the male student, because if you identify your students in this conversation, the main speaker was the female student, right? And the secondary one was the male student. Now, at some point in your response, you talked about what the secondary speaker said, right? You said that he basically suggested that it was better for her to have this option at least once a week, well, than not having any particular whole meal for vegetarians at all or whatsoever. So although this is something that, of course, it is mentioned in the conversation, as I say, it is not necessary to mention what the secondary speaker says. I think in this case, it was good because it was a good point anyways, right? Nonetheless, for general purposes, for you not to travel yourself in the future, avoid talking about the secondary speaker, okay? Just focus yourself on what the main speaker says. In this case, on what the female speaker said. All the opinions she had, the arguments she gave, she offered, all the particular illustrations maybe she made, because sometimes they make illustrations, right? They say something and then they say, well, imagine that this could happen, right? And they continue. So as I say, for general purposes, for all of you dear students, try to focus on the main speaker and ignore the other one. Simply ignore him, because as I say, this secondary speaker is merely placing the conversation just to have somebody to initiate it, because if you have noticed, it is always the secondary speaker who initiates the conversation. And also, in order to sustain the conversation for a little bit more, that is to say, he says, right, oh, and what do you think about this? Or are you sure about that? Oh, yeah, that's right, right? So he's basically fulfilling let's say the position of somebody who makes the conversation last longer. That is to say, it makes it to continue for a little bit more, right? So I don't think that it is necessary to mention him, all right? But anyways, it was very good. The rest of the response, Adriana, fantastic, okay? For Adriana, I don't have any particular commentary. I think that was fantastic. I think that you follow the template very accurately. You offer a wonderful summary of both materials, the reading and the listening, and you concentrated your response on the main speaker. So fantastic. And also, Jorge, I think that it was fantastic. The clearness, the you know, how natural it feels, how you connect your response. It's fantastic. Very good, dear Jorge. And for Sergio as well, it was fantastic. It was a very good response. You summarized the reading passage very accurately, very appropriately, and then you move on to the conversation as well. Now here at the end of your response, you in the last words, you actually did what Anai did in this case, that is to mention what the secondary speaker said, right? Nonetheless, I think that you did it just because you had some remaining time, right? Because in the entire response, you preferred to focus on the main speaker, just as you have to do it. So fantastic. And as I said, it's not necessary to say anything with regard to that secondary speaker, because the only function that he is, let's say, fulfilling this conversation is, as I say, to initiate the conversation and then to sustain it just for a while. But the only one who is, let's say, the main character, the one that should receive our attention, is the person who is delivering the opinion and defending it, all right? But fantastic responses, your students. I'm very much surprised and content with their performances. Okay, I think they're very good, very, very good. So let us continue. Right, let me just want to open this one more time. Here, custom. If you have any question, you can, of course, say it, okay? You can express it, all right? Answer, mode. Okay, here we are. Okay, let us start. Okay, here we are. So this is a new topic. And one more time, I'm gonna paste it to the chat box, all right, for you to read it. So let me, okay. There you have it. So please, dear students, now start reading this new passage now. There you are. Okay, dear students, so now it's time for you to listen to the conversation of two students discussing the same topic. Let us start now.
Now, listen to two students discussing the announcement.
Did you hear about the new food court on South Campus?
Yeah, man, it's too bad they're getting rid of the cafeteria.
What? Why? Won't it be good to have a few more options?
I don't know. I don't feel like this really gives us more choices. The cafeteria already had dishes from other countries. They had vegetarian options and customizable sandwiches, too. It's not like the quality of this new food court's ingredients is going to be much better than what we had. I'll bet it's all from the same source, even.
You think? I mean, yeah, if they don't even change their supplier, the offerings probably won't be all that different.
Exactly. Just pricier.
Wait, why is that?
The cafeteria was all you can eat. You'd get as much food as you wanted for a flat price. But at a food court, you've got to order individual meals. That ends up costing more.
You've always liked to load up a big plate, huh?
You've got that right. If I have to buy 4 meals every day, it's going to be hard on my wallet.
The man expresses his opinion about the change described in the article. Briefly summarize the change, then state his opinion about the change and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
There you are. Fantastic. So now, please, dear students, let us get into the preparation, all right? So please, all of you start preparing and designing your responses now. There you are. Fantastic. Okay, dear students. So who's going to be the first one now? Check it out. All right. So, dear Adriana, you're going to start with this one. Okay. So please, dear Adriana, have your microphone ready, and please start responding to this question now.
In the announcement, the university is announcing that the cafeteria is going to be remodeled because they are going to change to a food court. And regarding the conversation, the boy does not agree because he believes that the food court is going to be very much expensive, and if they have to buy every meal of the day, they are going to spend a lot of money. And also because he believes that if the cafeteria, the new food court keeps the people in charge of the cafeteria, they are not going to have a new type of food or other different dishes because it's the same people that is going to be on charge. And also he disagrees because he believes that the cafeteria is also more accessible for everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Adriana. Very, very good. Let's continue with, please, dear Sergio. You're going to follow up. All right, so please start responding to the question now.
To start, the dining hall at the campus will be redesigned for the fall with a new food court that will have restaurants, it will have a convenience store, and will be better for the students. But in the conversation, the student, it is very angry because it said it will be bad not to have the cafeteria instead of the cafe court because the cafeteria have already the dishes from another countries and another options for eating. Cafeteria also you have a flat price for eating in the cafeteria, and the food court will be varied the price, and you will have only just one meal. And the cafeteria you will have to you have 4 meals on the day. And also he thinks it is everything for the money because the new food court will give you just one meal, and the last remodelation will be very expensive.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. There you are. Please, dear Jorge, you're going to follow up. All right, so please start responding to this question now.
To begin with, in the reading passage, they are planning to change the cafeteria to make it more of a food court that they're going to offer with new facilities, especially restaurants with specialties in international food and sandwiches made to order. That is planning to open the first week of the spring semester. Now, a particular student is not happy with this decision for the following reasons. Firstly, the quality will remain the same since they're going to keep the old suppliers, so the ingredients are going to remain basically the same. Also, the prices are going to go up since the cafeteria is all you can eat, and the cafeteria is all you can eat, and the food court you have to buy every single individual dish. And if he wants to continue eating like he did with the cafeteria, the prices are going to go up. That'll be it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Jorge. I'm sorry. Fantastic. Very good. And finally, we have Anai for the last response. Okay. So please, dear Anai, start responding to this question now.
To begin with the reading passage about redesigning dining hall and having more food choices in the cafeteria, one of the students said that he doesn't agree with this announcement and he didn't see point in this kind of news. Also, he said that if he buy singular meals, that will be hard for his wallet. On the other hand, another student, she didn't understand why he doesn't support this kind of news because she can see a lot of new options in the menu, and she thinks that it will be good for the university and having also a store for buying things.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Adriana. Excuse me, Anai. Sorry, no, I'm not sure why I'm confusing names. All right, so incredible. You know, I am actually bothered, dear students, because you don't have any error. I would like to comment upon something and to tell you and give you some feedback. But the only thing that I can say about all your responses is that all of them are fantastic, very good responses. If you continue with this level and if you do something similar on the actual exam, I assure you that for this task, at least you're going to have a wonderful score, right? It's very good. The way you are grasping the idea of summarizing, working as journalists is just, simply remarkable. I think it's admirable how good you are performing on this task. Okay, just congratulations, fantastic, very good. All right, so let me just give you more practices. I think that you just can get better. So let's get into it. All right, here you have it. Let's get into it. Task number 2. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, let's start with this one. Okay, here we have it, and there you are in the chat box. It is visible for you. All right, so please, all of you, dear students, enjoy your 45 seconds to read the passage and serve yourself of them. Okay, your time for reading is over, and now it's time for us to listen to the conversation. All right, so please, dear students, let us start listening to this conversation now.
Now listen to 2 students discussing the article.
I really don't think this is a good idea.
Ah, really? It sounds like the ads could help the radio station make money.
Well, yeah, I guess, but the radio station already plays a lot of announcements.
Announcements?
Well, yes, between shows they announce campus events, changes in school policy, that kind of thing. If they add commercials too, there'll be a lot less time for the entertainment content.
Yeah, and they can't really stop running those announcements. There's a lot of important info there.
Yeah, and besides, does the college radio station really need to bring in more money? I mean, they just got new sound gear last year, and the music department already pays to bring famous singers to campus. Who cares if they're aired on campus radio if we get the chance to see them live?
I see what you mean. I've never had any problems with the programming myself.
Exactly. I think advertisers will just take up extra time. They won't really improve the station. I think they'll just make things worse. I don't know if I'll keep listening if they really do start running ads.
Well, maybe you're right.
The woman expresses her opinion about the change described in the article. Briefly summarize the change, then state her opinion about the change and give the reasons she states for holding that opinion.
There you are. Fantastic. Okay, so please now, dear students, it's time for you to prepare your response for this particular exercise, all right? So let's see what we have. Please, all of you, serve yourself of this 30 seconds for you to design your responses, starting now. Okay, there you are. Fantastic. So let me just choose the one who's going to start with this round. And in this opportunity, it is going to be Sergio. All right, so please, dear Sergio, enable your microphone and start responding to this question now.
Okay, this statement talks about the school radio may receive some paid advertisement from a local business, that it will help to bring new singers and buy new equipment for the radio. And in the conversation, the girl said that don't she doesn't think the ad it will be good idea for the campus because radio have now an announcement about information about the university and the campus. And with the ads, it will be very tiring to listen to the radio of the campus. And also, the radio may think those things worse because she says she will stop hearing the radio because a lot of advertising on the radio. And she says the ads and the money that the radio will have from the ads, it will be very useless for the campus and for the students.
There you are. Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Sergio. Wonderful. Let us move on to Jorge's response. So please, dear Jorge, start responding to the question now.
To begin with, in the reading passage, the school radio informs that they want to start airing paid advertisement from local businesses in order to make more money and be able to afford better equipment, better songs, and also to invite famous singers to the radio station. However, a particular student is not happy with this decision for the following reasons. Firstly, she believes the school radio doesn't have enough time to add advertisements in between the announcement of the school and the free time that they have to listen to music. And she also doesn't believe the school needs more money since they just bought new equipment and the students already paid famous singers to perform live. That'll be it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Dear Jorge, there you are. Dear Anai, please, we're going to continue. So please start responding to the question now.
To begin with the written passage about including paid advertisements and use that money for hire and recording equipment, one of the students doesn't agree with this statement because she said that there is a lot of announcement nowadays in the university, and if they add another advertisement, there will be less time for entertainment. And finally, she doesn't understand why the radio needs more money because they have already new sound equipment last year. And on the other hand, another student said that opinion that he's agree with the radio makes money, and he kind of understand the main reason that she explains before.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, dear Anai. Let us go now finally with our dear Adriana. Okay, so please, dear Adriana, start responding to this question now.
The new strategy for the school radio is to increase the advertisement for local business so they can earn more money and buy new equipment. Also, they have the strategy to bring new famous people that could sing on the radio for make the radio more famous. And regarding the conversation, the girl does not believe that this is a good idea because increasing the advertisement is going to make less time for the entertainment, and she believes that the radio already has too many announcements about the university staff, and also she believes that there is no need for the radio to earn more money because they already have they already have some, and she don't see interest in bringing famous people to the radio.
Incredible. Thank you very much. All right, there we are. So I just can say one more time that the responses have been wonderful. Honestly, fantastic. I think that all of you have managed to get a very, very interesting and remarkable level in this task. I'm very much surprised about your incredible performance here. And I just can recommend you to continue practicing. And tomorrow, we're going to start with the third task of the speaking section. And you're actually going to find that it's super similar to this one. The only difference, and of course, we're going to discuss it deeper tomorrow, is that you are not going to listen now to conversations on trivial topics as the ones that we have been listening until this point. Nonetheless, what you're going to listen to and what you're going to read about will be academic topics. You're going to be reading articles from mathematics, articles about physics, articles about biology, chemistry, and then the audio for tomorrow's lesson will be merely about academic topics as well. That is to say, lectures, professors delivering lectures, classes on different academic subjects. All right. So as I say, for this particular task, you can feel completely satisfied with your performance. It's very good. And as I say, tomorrow we're going to start with the third task, and I know you're going to find it super easy, at least to the mechanism, and the rest is just going to be more practice. Okay. So we're going to stop with our class here. Is there any question, dear students? Sergio, Jorge, Anaí, Adriana, anything that you would like to comment, maybe?
No, everything is good.
No question,
All right.
Professor.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Everything is clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Sergio. All right, so let us stop here the class. Please don't go and to take your assistance. And please, your students, help me with the traditional poll that you always feel for me, and you know that you help me a lot, all right? So please help me with that. Look at your screen and let me take your assistance. Where are we? We are here, sheet paper. Here and here. Second. Right. Okay. So thank you very much for your responses. Please could you help me with one more poll? You know that today is Wednesday, and you know that on Wednesdays it's always necessary for you to help me with 2 different polls, all right? So sorry, please help me with that one. It's the only one. Okay, just for this particular occasion, help me with that one as well, dear students. And now listen to your names. Is here Ramirez Camila Bocangel? Oh, she told me that she wouldn't be here. I'm gonna consider her. Okay, it's here present Mayra Alejandra Perez. All right, as well. What about Salguero Fabiana? Okay. Quiroga Adriana?
I'm here.
Thank you very much, dear Adriana. Now it's here present Zúñiga Sergio.
Yes, present.
Thank you very much, dear Sergio. What about Alondra Lisette? Okay, Quiroga José Miguel. Right. Anaí Estefanía.
Present.
Thank you very much, dear Anaí. And finally, we have Jorge Alberto.
Present.
Thank you very much, dear Jorge. There you are. Okay, so thank you very much, dear students. I think it has been a pleasure to be with you. As I say, tomorrow we're going to continue with the classes. We're going to discuss the third task of the speaking section, and I know that you're going to find it super easy and that you're going to perform as excellent as you did it today. All right, so have a wonderful night and see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much. See you later. See you. Bye-bye.